Welcome back to Networking in Nature in the beautiful Botanic Gardens of Sydney. We got a bit of a wet morning this morning, but that didn't keep the crowds away. We're all still up to be out here in nature, and so grateful to our guest presenter today, Mr. Nick Bendel, who joined us. Thank you so much, Nick. And we asked Nick to come along and share a journey that he's been on over the last 6 years to have 500 lunches with 500 strangers. And the concept was just so grabbing that we had to invite him down to share that process with us, to share where the idea came from, some of the people he's met, and some of the insights he's gained along the way. Nick, thank you so much for joining us as a presenter this time. Great to have you back at Networking in Nature. And it was good to hear more about where this whole 500 lunches idea came from. So just in summary and in the spirit of sharing for those who missed out, would you like to recap where the idea came from and why you decided to do this challenge, and also off the back of that, what you hope your experience might prompt in other people considering doing things a little bit differently or putting themselves out there in different ways in their lives?
Well, John, thank you for having me at Networking in Nature. I love Networking in Nature. I've been here as a participant, and now to be able to present was an honour. And as you mentioned, back in August 2019, I started having lunch with 500 strangers, and I stole the idea off someone else. There's a woman in Melbourne named Kaylee Chu who published a book in 2019 called 100 Lunches with Strangers. As we can guess, she had 100 lunches, and I discovered her book and I read it and loved it. It's such a good book, and she inspired me to steal her idea and just add a few lunches on top of that. And Kaylee was actually my very first lunch. I met her in Melbourne almost 6 years ago, and I've been able to meet people from all different walks of life, which has been such a pleasure. I've met a magician, an actor, a footballer, a musician, a QC, a dating coach, a hostage negotiator, a diplomat, a politician, a fireman, a policeman, every sort of person you can imagine. And I've learnt so much from the different people, partly because I've been able to meet a lot of different people, and partly because they're from all different walks of life, and then also because I'm just really curious to hear their stories and to learn from them. And as a result, I've become more knowledgeable about human behaviour. I've developed a lot more self-awareness. I've become a lot more open-minded. I've become more willing to try new things. These 500 lunches have definitely been the best thing I've ever done in my life, and when I get to 500, which will actually be next week, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep having these lunches forever.
That is epic, the fact that you're calling it the best thing you've done in your life. And I can totally understand that, because I can only imagine the opportunity that could come from each and every one of those conversations, and to put yourself out there. And you shared with us actually in the beginning that you're not naturally that sort of person, that for you, you would prefer to just be at home, cuddled up with your cup of tea and a nice book. But this was a real process of forcing yourself a little bit outside of your comfort zone, hoping that it would lead to opportunity. And it sounds like it has exactly done that. So I know that was really inspiring for everyone to hear this morning, because I think so often you have to put yourself in that line of opportunity for those magical things to happen in life, and that whole process that you've gone on is the perfect example, and us standing here today is a direct result of that. So thank you so much, Nick, and I know that you've had lunch with a number of the Networking in Nature community on the journey as well, so it has been amazing. I've loved following your updates on LinkedIn, where you put the summaries of the lunches and the people you meet. And so if anyone hasn't followed Nick's journey, I would recommend them to do so. He'll be tagged here, and you can keep following the people that he meets, and you may even get tapped on the shoulder one day yourself, but hopefully that inspires you to think differently about how you might be able to put yourself out there and think about how you surround yourself with opportunity in the world. So Nick, that was really inspiring, mate. Thank you so much again for joining us, and please don't make it your last visit to Networking in Nature.
It definitely won't be my last visit. I love Networking in Nature. It's so nice to be able to meet new people in this beautiful setting and have these wonderful conversations. So I will definitely be back.
Good on you, mate.
Thank you, John.